Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio, episode 182. I'm April Perry and I am so happy you are here. Today we're talking about editing our current projects list mid-month. And I'll explain a little bit more about what that is and why it will be a blessing and hopefully a big lift for you. But first, I just want to welcome you to Learn, Do, Become. If you're new, we help people who are drowning in the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. So if right now your head is spinning, you've got a ton of stuff going on and you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, we're here to help you solve that and have peace and clarity and order and wake up excited and go to bed content. Here at Learn, Do, Become, we teach how to have a current projects list with a maximum of 7 to 8 projects on that list for the month. And we encourage you to post it or write it in an obvious place. We have an initial free class called How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles. You can find at learndobecome.com/step if you want to figure out more about that. But having this current projects list is how we focus. Now, a few more details about that. We recommend that we divide this list of projects into 3 categories: me, my family, and beyond. And beyond represents professional or volunteer work. And then we balance ourselves with 1 to 3 projects in each. Now, I know at first when I say that, you're thinking, well, I have way more than 7 or 8 projects or way more than 3 work projects. I get it. But what we help you do first is pull a lot of those things onto a routines list. Most projects can actually get started as projects and then turn into routines. And then we help you prioritize, where you can do way more than that in a month, but you're not going to start with that many. You're just going to start with a few in each category, or maybe even 1 in each category. And then you're going to notice that you start getting projects past the finish line, you start getting things actually done, and you have a lot more confidence in yourself. Where instead of just trying to hack at a bunch of branches and just get a bunch of stuff done all at once and never actually feeling that sense of completion, now you have a very focused list. Now, if you have a lot on your calendar or routines list, let's say you're typically in meetings all day long, or you're a caregiver for children or parents or something like that, or you're just thinking, yeah, I'm always on the go. Okay, great. Then you might want only 1 to 3 current projects for the month. And the thing is, you'll know that that list is optimal if it gives you a lift whenever you see it. And then other projects that don't currently fit on this current projects list will go into a next in line or a someday list. And then ideally, each month you complete the current list and then you repopulate it with your next set of projects. So I just gave a very brief description of how a current projects list works. We have a free training called How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles at learndobecome.com/step if you want to go deeper into that. And our program, Steps to Everyday Productivity, teaches how to build the whole command central, how to get it all built. It's seriously a game changer, and I hope we can eventually get a command central on every desk because I know it will change the world. But right now, if you're thinking, I just need focus and I'm feeling so overwhelmed and I'm waking up feeling like I just am drowning already before I even get out of bed, I want you to know that there is hope and there's a change. And while it's going to be a slow, subtle shift as you get out of it, as you create a current projects list, today, get that list created. And as you make it optimal, where it does give you that lift, and when you see it, you think, oh, I could do that. You're going to start stepping out of the chaos, and you're going to start feeling a sense of calm and excitement that you may not have even known was a possibility for you. So that's the big idea of the Command Central and, what this whole system will do for you. But today we want to talk specifically about a current projects list. Assuming that you have one or you know how to build it and you've either done it or you're going to do it, sometimes you'll want to edit your current projects list mid-month, which is something that I just did. So I thought I would record a podcast about it and just maybe it would be helpful to show you what that could look like. Because the last thing you want to do is create a current projects list at the beginning of the month and then have some things come up but feel like, oh, I can't change it because that's what I decided. and then just push through a month dreading every day and hating it. You don't want that. So what I found, and I know it seems crazy, but it's like magic. Whenever my brain starts to feel like it's getting too full, or I feel like I have expectations that are too high for myself, considering what's going on in my life and my family, if I look at my current projects list and make some edits, and I actually have it visually, posted right in my office and something I'm looking at, I immediately feel a greater sense of calm. So let's say you wake up sick and you're thinking, okay, I need to just go edit my current projects while I get over this illness, or something unexpected comes up. Anyway, I'm going to walk you through what that looks like and how you would do it. So first, I've just identified 4 reasons for editing our current projects list. There may be more, but these are the 4 that I think are most common. So first, something unexpected comes up, so you need to switch a project. Now notice I didn't say add a project. You'll want to move one of your existing current projects to a next in line list if you already have a full plate. So just a quick example, we had some warping of our floor. We had a wood floor in our kitchen and it started to warp. Turns out we had a leak. They came in, they did a repair, they had to refinish the entire, all 3 rooms that have the wood floor. It was just kind of a big to-do to get the floor repaired. We had to move all our furniture. Move out of the house for a couple days. It was all that. Fortunately, our home insurance paid for that, so that was great. But that was a major project. That was not something that we had planned to do this month, but it was necessary because we were trying to, stop the leak and get this thing repaired. So if something like that happens to you where, we have to do a major home repair, great. Then you put that on your current projects list. I'd probably put that in the family category because you're building this nice home for your family to live in. But then something else that you had in your family category, you may need to move to next in line. Or maybe you need to move something from work or personal to next in line to make room. So total you have 7 or 8. So that's the first one. Something unexpected comes up. Illness, repair, emergency project, something. All right. Number 2, you feel overwhelmed when you look at the list because it's more than you can actually do. This happens often because perhaps while we're making our current projects list, we're feeling kind of optimistic and maybe we're having a really good day and we have lots of energy. And so we get kind of excited and we write down all these things that we want to do. Or maybe we're in a stress mode while we're creating our current projects list. And so we add all these projects to the list because we're so stressed that we think that we need to overwhelm ourselves in order to get anything done. Now, I get it. I've done both. But if when you look at your list, you feel that sinking, sensation in your stomach, and maybe your shoulders get tight and your jaw gets tight, and you stop breathing and you're looking at it and thinking, I don't even want to start. If you feel that way, then it's time to whittle down the list or make some adjustments because we're all human. And I really want us to learn how to give ourselves grace. As I've been working with our community, especially in our 4 Weeks to Finish group and getting to know more of our community members face to face, which I love, I'm noticing how much you're carrying and how many things you're juggling and how many facets of your lives you're managing and trying to care for. And I see your hearts. Oh my gosh, I love how much you care for other people and for your communities and wanting to do a good job. So you're doing a lot, and I want you not to feel overwhelmed. But if you feel overwhelmed looking at your projects list, then okay, we're going to make some edits. All right, 3rd reason you might want to edit it is if you completed some projects and now you want to make that visual list smaller, or maybe you want to bring up additional projects from next in line because you're like, hey, I'm moving through. Let's get some more stuff done. And that's totally appropriate. That's great. And the 4th reason is you want to clarify a project because it's either too vague or it's not exactly what you need to be doing. And this is really common, whether it's a project on your projects list or it's maybe a next action on your next actions list. anytime something is kind of sitting there stagnant, it's typically because our brain isn't clear on what exactly needs to be done. Or maybe it's a task that needs to be delegated. Or maybe it's like, hey, actually, this isn't even something we need to be doing, so that if you need to clarify, that's another good reason. Okay, so I'll just review those 4 again since I gave examples in the middle. Okay, so the reasons for editing: something unexpected comes up. You feel overwhelmed when you look at the list because it's more than you can actually do. You completed some projects and want to make the list smaller, or want to bring up some from next in line, or you want to clarify a project. So those are the top ones that I'm noticing. So I'm just going to share my own experience. I have a photo that'll be on the show notes page showing my starter list for the month of February. So in the me category, I had mindset work and nutrition focus. In family, I have our We Love to Be a Family Day and Spencer's schedule. And then in beyond, I had support center, recording routine, and our emotional resilience class support. Okay, so I have a little picture showing what I did. So then I have a photo of my updated list where you can see that I've taken out a project in the me category and a project in the beyond category. So I have 2 fewer projects now on the list. And I edited the Spencer's schedule project in the family category. So now my list is a little smaller and a little more clear. And I'll just explain what changed and why. All right, so in the for me category, I wrote down nutrition focus because I'd gotten out of the habit of making my vegetable soup and my pomegranate delights each week. If you listen to past podcasts, I've kind of explained how to do this, but I make this big pot of vegetable soup and I blend it up. So I've got like 7 big containers of soup and I have one a day. I break it into 2 parts. Anyway, I'm eating all kinds of vegetables because I find vegetables just leave me feeling so energetic and happy. And my pomegranate delight is actually like that that Power Beets. It's not like that beet powder I get at Sam's Club mixed with spinach and water. So instead of spinach beet juice, pomegranate delight. It's all in the name, right? It tastes so good. So I got out of the habit of making those. I had some travel. There'd been, we moved out of the house for this floor repair. I hadn't had access to my blender, and I'm like, oh, I need to just get back into that. But I'm going to make reestablishing the routine into a project. Okay, but then within the first week of the month, I'm recording this Friday, February 10th, but within the first week of the month, I got that routine back in place and I realized, I don't really need to have this as a project anymore. I don't need to be thinking about it all month because it's already switched to a routine. And I just put a couple reminders on my routines list, make my soup Sunday night and just remember to blend up my pomegranate delights. And it's good to go. I'm back into it and I am loving my vegetables. So I just deleted the nutrition focus off the list because I'm like, that's good. We're in routine mode now. Then in the family section, I realized that Spencer's schedule was too vague of a project. I was kind of looking at it like, I don't even know what to do with that. Spencer's our 15-year-old son. He's our last child at home. And I'm trying to figure out how to best support his after-school schedule without dictating it and giving him flexibility and freedom while also trying to have some structure because, raising teenagers, I'll just stop there. So I switched it to life architecture plan with Spencer because there are clear steps that come to mind when I see that. Really what I'm trying to do is help give him the vision of how to architect his life and help him make more of those decisions. So it's less on me, more on him. But it's empowering to me because it gives me something specific I can teach. And hopefully it's empowering to him because now he sees that we trust him and we want to help him to be able to create some great things for his future. So that's what I have there. And then in the Beyond section, I just transitioned the emotional resilience class support that was for church. And I put that into a routine as well, because when it was a project, I actually held a meeting with some of our facilitators. We all did these brainstorms. We took really good notes. I sent out all the information from that meeting via email to everyone who couldn't attend. And now I have a calendar trigger to remind me to just check in on that every Sunday. And I think that's all that I need to do at this point. because each Sunday I can do a few things to be a support, but I don't have to do a big project. Everyone should have their resources and what they need at this point. So that's it. And I've really found throughout my life, and as I've watched a lot of our community members create their current projects lists, the smaller the list, the more creative and optimistic we tend to feel. And I know it feels counterintuitive, because when you want to, reaffirm to yourself that you're productive and you care and you're on it, it often feels like, well, I need to make a very huge long list and commit myself to doing all this amazing work, because then I'm going to be a truly productive person. But I just find it's like the opposite. That's actually, it tends to be very demoralizing when you just see this big long list. It usually inspires you to want to just procrastinate or just kind of give up, because it feels just like, I can't do it. I only have so much energy. I can't do every single thing on the list. And then sometimes our internal voice starts telling us these things that really aren't true. But when you have a very focused list and you've made your decisions well, and you're saying, yeah, there's a lot to do, but I'm going to focus on what makes sense for right now and create a list that gives me a list that gives me a lift, then you just start to have this positive energy and you think, okay, sure, yeah, I can do some great things. And so if you haven't yet made your current projects list for the month, I hope that this, podcast can help you get started and recognize that whatever you write down, it doesn't have to be perfect for the month. Most likely it will get edited at some point. And some months I don't edit the list. It just is exactly what I wanted to do, and I do it and it all gets checked off and we're done. But when life happens, which it does for most of us, things just, kind of come up, and that's okay. Then when you know that you can just make a few edits and just keep moving, you don't feel as afraid for, the challenges that might happen. Like, sure, I hope nothing else leaks. I hope I don't have to do any major home repairs. I hope I don't get sick. I hope my family's healthy and strong. I hope that there isn't a natural disaster, all these things. But if there is, then I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to edit my current projects, and I'll just change my focus. And so that's just my encouragement to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can always edit along the way. And as long as you feel a lift when you look at it, you're going to actually start to have more confidence in yourself, and you're going to enjoy life more. And just kind of close off, I want to just recognize that the whole point of building this Command Central and getting our lists in order is so that we can put our energy towards the relationships. I'm learning more and more, especially as I get, older and more seasoned in life, that it's really the people that matter. The projects and tasks are great, but at the end of our lives, it's not about, well, how many projects did you do? How many tasks did you check off that list? It's the people who will remember the love that you shared with them and the positive influence you had in their lives, and that you took time to be with them and enjoy them and serve them. And so as we look at our month, one of my family projects right now is our We Love to Be a Family Day. We have a podcast on that Aaliyah and I recorded a couple years ago. If you want to go listen to that, and I'll link to it on the show notes page. But we do this, I think it's our 11th annual We Love to Be a Family Day. We're doing it on President's Day, Monday the 20th. I think it's the 20th. Anyway, so we make a little map, and I plan out, maybe 8 to 10 activities, and I write a little poem for each one, and the whole family has it on their calendar, and we all get together and they go through the map, and we have these little, some of them are simple activities, like our cinnamon roll hug we do. Have you ever done that with your hands? You all put them together and make a little cinnamon roll. Anyway, they always laugh because the cinnamon roll hug is on there every time. But then maybe we go see a movie, or we go to a nice dinner, or we go miniature golfing, or we do some activity that, is kind of special. And it's our We Love to Be a Family Day. And that's one of my very favorite projects every year. I love it. And really the goal, though, isn't to get that day done and check it off. The goal is to make that day something that's connective, that they'll remember, that I'll remember, that we'll cherish. I love the privilege of being able to have people in my life who care about me and who I care about. And whether you are married and have children, or you have great siblings, or really great relationships with your parents, or you have really close friends that are around you, when you build those relationships and you have people in your life that are there to support you and care about you and listen to you, and you're there to do the same for them, oh man, I think that's what life is all about. And often we miss the boat. I know I've missed the boat so many times focusing on just the projects. So, okay, I'm sending a huge hug, lots of love, and I hope that you enjoy making your current projects list and maybe editing it, and it's going to be amazing. And we hope to see you soon at learndobecome.com.